What's going on? It's your boy 007 back at it. Getting ready to do a little editing on a few videos I did. Trying to get ready to start shooting these videos all over again. Before I get into all that though, that'll be a later project. Please excuse me. Been going through a whole lot. I've moved and a whole lot has changed, as you can see. New location. A little bit smaller. It's because I'm in a 1-bedroom now. My son has graduated, so had to make some room for myself. But anywho, congratulations to him. It was a tough road, but we did it. Got a few things in today from these good people here. Bulk Reef Supply. Got some deogenized resin. Tubing, saddle valve. I believe this one here is a sediment filter. Cartridge for the resin, and got the carbon block. I'm a little bit overdue, as you can see. Before I moved, I changed my membrane. I changed my filters probably during around that same time, but it's almost 6 months later and it's time to do the business, yo, before that membrane goes bad. But I will be getting rid of this RODI unit out of my kitchen and be retrofitting that underneath my bathroom sink. Moving this barrel out of my dining room. And this will be my new area for my auto top, not my auto top up, but for my water mixing station. This one right here is salt water. The other one that's filling now will be fresh water, and I'll be putting that underneath the bathroom sink. Moving right along, what y'all been waiting for. It's this puppy right here. Me and this tank have been through hell and back trying to get this thing in its new place. This tank weighs a good 450, 500 pounds empty. And it was just a pain to take everything out of here, drain all the water, tote all the water, tote all the rock and all the sand. That's at least 300 to 400 pounds of rock you're looking at, and probably a good 200 to 300 pounds of sand. More close to 300, because I added some more in it because I broke down a few tanks. Which leads me to this here. Had a mishaps with my 90. The silicone in my 90 started to deteriorate around one of these seams. So sprung a leak, came home, and I just had a wet floor. So I rushed out the next day and went and bought this 75 that you're looking at. This 75 here replaced my 90 that was in my bedroom. But moving into a 1-bedroom apartment, you know, it became like the option of, do I want to keep it, set it back up in there, or no? So what I did is, instead of selling it, I took my old sump out, was a $500 custom sump, mirroring the trigger system. It worked pretty good, and I was pretty content with it. But there were some things I did not like about it, and I wanted bigger space and more volume in my tank. So I made it a DIY project, put some baffles in it, and made them a sump. We're still running the two 1262 E-Hive pumps. Got some emeralds down there for a customer. Just got them segregated so they're easy to get in and out. Down there, players in the bottom, you see one of my lonely little black clownfish. His mate died, mishaps when I was moving, had everything stuffed in a 30-gallon, wasn't enough room, and the water got a little too toxic and one of them perished. So underneath there, you see my little badass down there. It's my domino damsel. wherever he went. That's my little badass. Pretty small when I got him. As he grew, he got more aggressive, more temperamental, I guess. Started chasing and beating up people. So I had to pull him out the tank as well. And this is his new home for now. I did have him in the tank with my crab, but people thought that was a little mean. He really couldn't get any rest because the crab bruised that tank down over there. But anywho, got a little bit of Cheeto down there. What's left of it. I threw some up in the tank. It was full of tiny, here he is, tiny feather dusters. And once that stuff gets in your Cheeto, it just looks god awful ugly. So I decided to throw that up in the display tank and let that let the fish eat it and let it kind of work its way up out of there. You know, once it gets cleaned up a little bit, I'll throw it back down here. But I just like a clean looking sump. I don't like all the little feather duster worms down in the sump tank area. They're perfectly fine, don't get me wrong, but I just like a clean look when I'm looking at my sump. I like watching my sump just as much as I like watching my tank, believe it or not. And strange as it might seem, but I did a pretty good DIY system. Combination soft plunge and hard plunge. One thing hard plunge really is the ball valves, but that's my little sump area. Got a reactor over there. It's empty right now. Gotta get some more media. Going with the GFO. Those two anemones that you see down in there are babies from my original green bubble tank. Two in there. There's kind of making hard to see the one, but that anemone spawned 4 babies. So that gives me a total of, no, it spawned 5 babies. Give me a total of 6. But those 2 are for a customer. I'm just selling them as they break apart, start reproducing. But back to the mission at hand here. Trying to give you guys some updates. This is the crab tank right next to my sump. I love watching them eat. If I can get this piece of shrimp to float down. There he is. He smells it. There's the shrimp. And I feed him about every 2 to 3 days. He wants a little camera time too. Shrimp's not over here, buddy. He's got some massive claws. Get too close and he gets over your finger, he will break your finger. No question about it. I've had some Marco rock in here. You know, he was breaking that apart amazingly. So I put some big boulders in here just for him to play around with. Those boulders are all the way in the back and he pushed them all the way up front. And each one of those rocks weigh about good 10 to 15 pounds each. But your dinner's back there, buddy. You have to move, go get it. I'm not hand feeding you today. Probably a little pissed because I haven't fed him for 4 days. But I wanted to be hungry to come out for the video. It's a little bit shy sometimes. But anyway, he'll find his food. Dig into it. Beautiful shot of him right there. Hey, 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 where's the food? Where's the food? Smell it? You gotta go get it, buddy. Right next to that, got a 30-gallon reservoir with mirrored bottom. I like it. This was a giveaway. Lucked up on it. It was somebody that had a reptile in it for a short while. It's got the reptile lid. I just smacked some glass on top of there so nothing spills in there. That holds about 30 gallons. And that replenishment is probably about 6 days worth. 5 to 6 days worth. But something I did different with this setup, I took my bubble wands or whatever you want to call them, put them in the front this time just to give it some more dramatic effect. And I'm very pleased with it. It also helps oxygenate my tank. A lot of people don't like bubbles in their reef tank. They don't bother me. The little tiny ones do, but these just look beautiful. The fish love them. They play in them. You see them biting them sometimes. It's just funny. But I love it. Let me cut off these bubbles so you can see what's going on in here. Give me 1 second. Alrighty. Everybody's a little bit hungry. That's why they're all following me around the tank. This tank here is mainly centropods and tangs, with a few others in here for characteristics. We got a Potters, Yellow Tang, Coral Beauty, Keyhole, about 4 or 5 damsels, blue-tailed damsels, a Sailfin, Hippo, Scopus. There's the Ebly. There's my Banana Wrasse. There's my Lopezi. Can't remember what kind of rabbit fish though. It's got some weird name, but he's just beautiful. And he was just the most beautiful rabbit fish out of the bunch, and I lucked up and was able to get him. Can't really see his colors real good. We got some, I think it's called a scribbled rabbitfish, but he's just beautiful. Got a flame angel in here somewhere. One of my favorites right here, red mandarin. There's also a green spot mandarin that I thought had died, just hidden in a rock, and he's in here somewhere. But he kicks his ass every chance he can, and that red mandarin is twice his size. But it's kind of funny, but it's kind of not funny because, ironically, that little fish can kill it. I just pray it doesn't. I want to drop some food in here to see if I can get everybody else out. But there are about a total of 6 different centropods in here, and about 4 or 5 different tangs, and I love them all. My firefish did not make it, either the purple or my red. They end up dying off during the transit. Had everybody stuffed into a 90-gallon with a lot of coral, a lot of rock that had coral on it, and it just was so congested, and everybody was just at each other's throat. And that was for about a week there in that tank. I just couldn't find this time to get out my schedule to take care of it. I finally did, and I'm kind of sad that I lost so many fish. I lost a red chorus wrasse also, beautiful. Had just got us adult colors. I was able to keep my blood shrimp, both of those, and both my cleaner shrimp. Some other new additions are my maroon clowns here. I've tried to get maroons to mate up, just buying them different sizes, and one all this kill the other. So walked in the pet store, saw these 2 gold striped maroon clowns, and they came home with me. They were already mated. Couple of sand sifting stars in here. Serpent star, trying to get a taste of him some food. And an Atlantic bluefin somewhere in here. There he is back there. There's I think 1 more centropods in here. But I love centropods. They don't get too big, and they just have they're just full of color. I got a chocolate tang up there also. A few green chorus. A lot of my coral died also. Lost some mushrooms, lost some Euphilia. Lost a couple heads off of that one. That one's trying to bounce back. It was just completely bleached, and he's coming back to life. This one stayed healthy. Lost some zoanthids. My bubble coral was twice that size when I left. He's starting to bounce back. Got a little red sponge back there. I'm not sure what to do with it. If you guys got any clues on how to care for it, or if it doesn't like light, or if it does like light, give me a shout out and comment and let me know. It's a new addition. I don't know what this is, if it's some type of Kenya tree or what, but it's like a neon green, so to speak, and like a leather coral. And he's bouncing back. Got some frags of it there and down there. Lost my pulsing xenia, but my regular xenia is still here and kicking. Haven't really taken off yet, but Still got quite a few mushrooms. This devil's hand need to try getting some more flow. It's trying to bounce back and start budding again. But that thing is almost as worse as a Kenya tree or a zinnia, because it just, as it grows, it just drops pieces off and they just start growing in places you don't want. But it's still a nice piece of coral. There's the mother anemone. Got a little sibling behind it. So that makes 4. And there are 2 more in my other tank. Speaking of my other tank, let's go take a look. Here's the ocean in the bedroom for now. I would love to put a 220 in here. I'm just not in the mood or nowhere near close to wanting to tackle that weight again for a long time. Next time I move, it will be into a house, not an apartment. But anywho, this is the 90 in the bedroom. Those are my mocha clowns. They have a darker hue than most oscillarius. That's why they call them mocha. I didn't know that till recently. But those are the ones that were my original 220 at the other place. And I put them in here. The inhabitants of this tank would be a coral beauty, and what tang is that? The orange shoulder tang, an Atlantic blue Pacific tang, a half black angel, and there is another centropod in here. I want to say he's a bluefin as well. A bluefin or a yellowtail, I can't remember. But he's very shy, doesn't come out much. There's also areas back there. He just went back there, if you saw him. A Royal Garama that hangs out in those barnacle skeletons. Haven't seen him in a couple of days since I put these tangs in here. He hasn't showed himself too much. Very small, timid. Walk to the tank, he just darts back in those holes. I used to get him to come out when I feed the others, but I haven't seen him in a couple of days, so hopefully he's still in there. But push come to shove, rest in peace. But this is the coral only, live rock only. Besides that anemone, that's the only coral I got in this tank. A lot of it's still white because some of it was dry rock that I had stored away. Most of this is Marco rock and some other original coral reef rock that I got when I first got started. There's my little centropods down there. But a lot of people say, why you got so many centropods in one tank? Won't they kill each other? To the most part, I had all these at the same time, and they chase each other around a little bit, but they're so quick and agile. They just, chase most of the time. I've never really had a centropod kill another centropod except for a lemon pill, and I no longer have him. But this is my ocean in the bedroom. Give you a brief look down here what I've done with my sump on this one. Not a whole lot of fancy doodads, but it's workable. Still running Euro Reef skimmers. Thinking about switching over to the Cyclones one day when my money's right. Running some grape colourful down there for now. Nothing too serious. My reactor, I'm just running carbon in this reactor. Filter socks and another E-heim down there. JBJ. I think that's a JBJ. Auto top off. And I'm using the, what is it called? The aqua lifter to feed my tank. It's water. Keep using these aqua lifters. Make sure you go down there and get you a couple of those filters. That way you get longer life out of your pump. I see a lot of people not using these filters for whatever reason, but these little filters down here, they just help keep your filter from backing up, clogging, and messing up. They're relatively cheap, and there are replacement parts for them. But, you know, if you don't have to go through all that crap, why do it? But here you have it. Sorry again for the long overdue update. Miss you all. Shout out to New York Stilo, Jay Bliss, Money Mark Jake, RKT Man. The list goes on and on. You guys have been all inspirational and all give me a lot of knowledge and good ideas. Hopefully I've shared some of my ideas and beliefs about this hobby with you, and you've taken them to heart. But I'm in love. I'm still addicted. I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still strong. And we're going to keep doing it from now into infinity. And as always, people, do what you do. Do what you enjoy. And enjoy what you do. There's no fishing in my reef tank.